Okay, well, I'd like to welcome everyone to the WILAB launch event. I'm Chris Manzi, the head of Electrical and Electronic Engineering at the University of Melbourne, and I'm going to be the Master of Ceremony for the day. If I could ask everyone to mute their mics, and someone's just beaten me to that. I would like to advise that we will be recording the presenters of today's launch for possible post-event distribution, but the audience won't be captured in the recording. Before we begin today's proceedings, on behalf of both the University of Melbourne and RMIT, I acknowledge that we're on the lands of the Wurundjeri people who have been custodians of this land for thousands of years, and we acknowledge and pay our respects to their elders, past and present. Engagement with industry is of particular importance to the department and indeed the school, so I take this opportunity to issue a special welcome to our guests from industry and our industry advisory group. I'd now like to introduce Acting Deputy Vice-Chancellor Research, Mark Hargraves, to provide some opening remarks on the future home for WILAB at Melbourne Connect. So Mark, I'll hand over to you and I'll mute myself.
Can't hear you.
Hello?
Yep. Is that
Mark,
better now?
I think you. Yep.
Yeah, is that better? My apologies. So look, on behalf of the University of Melbourne, I'd just like to, and all our partners, I'd just like to welcome you to the event today and echo Chris's acknowledgement of Indigenous peoples on whichever lands you may be on today. And this is an important event, and for the University of Melbourne, and indeed I'm sure for RMIT, making impact through research translation is a very important part of what we do. And under the relatively new Advancing Melbourne strategy, we seek to do more of this. And WILAB is an example of how we can work in partnership with fellow or other academic institutions, with other research institutions, with industry to really make a difference. And as we've seen over the last 12 months, digital innovation is going to be even more important in bringing us together in ways that perhaps we haven't imagined. As I said, the experience of the last 12 months will certainly facilitate that. We see co-location as an important part of this, and notwithstanding the challenge of having to physically distance, there's some recent analysis that's showing that physical co-location is still an important prerequisite for those important interactions that often drive innovation and creative thinking. So we're pleased and very excited that Melbourne Connect is due to open in the next few weeks, and that'll be a home for industry tenants, many of them engaged in the digital space, also for our the Melbourne School of Engineering, and in particular electronic and electrical engineering and computing and information systems in Melbourne Connect. An important part also is the experience for our staff and our students, and the Melbourne Accelerator program and some of our translating research activities will also be in Melbourne Connect. And I think in THAS, you have someone leading this initiative with considerable experience. He was for many years the director of our Network Society Institute, and he was instrumental in the founding and development of the Melbourne Accelerator program. And in partnering with RMIT, we have a close relationship through an initiative with the City of Melbourne and with RMIT, known as the Melbourne Innovation District. It's still evolving in how it can make a difference, but I think this is a good example of how Melbourne and RMIT working together can really address some of the major innovation challenges that industry is facing in a digital era. So on behalf of the university, I'd like to welcome you all. And I think it's my job, Chris, to welcome Professor Alex Subik, the Deputy Vice Chancellor for STEM and I think Vice President for Digital Innovation. And Alex has, during his time at Swinburne, was very active in promoting digital innovation. And I've worked with him in other fora, and I'd like to welcome Alex to the event.
Thank you, Mark, and a warm hello to everyone online participating in this launch. And Mark, really pleased to see you again and to reconnect in my new role as a trusted old colleague, and we've had many collaborations to date. And I'm really pleased that I had this opportunity to participate in this launch today as a partner of Melbourne University. RMIT and Melbourne University coming together for the strategic development within, as you say, Melbourne Innovation District is such an important milestone. As Mark knows very well, my particular focus, as well as the university and college focus, is on the fourth industrial revolution, Industry 4.0, and working with industry in particular to help them through this transformation. And we've had many milestones, developments in line with that strategy. I see this opening of the joint WILAB one of those critically important milestones. For getting together two world-class universities that are engaged in future technologies, supporting the fourth industrial revolution agenda with industry in Australia, bringing together world-class research teams to join forces is really what transformation is all about, because no one can achieve that outcome on their own. The opportunities we will create together through this joint lab are immense. We are already scoping industry engagement across Australia as well as internationally, because work on Internet of Things, on 5G, 6G communication, and in general on future generations of wireless networks is critical to the fourth industrial revolution agenda. As most of us would recognize, at the heart of the fourth industrial revolution, Internet of Things is hyperconnectivity, is data. 5G, 6G is an essential future technology to drive the full implementation and full benefits of the fourth industrial revolution. Moving our industry towards networks that are 100 times faster than 4G, or that have significantly reduced latency compared to 4G, from 1 to 5 milliseconds compared to 4G of around 20 milliseconds, is tremendous gain. We will be seeing, not millions, billions of devices and sensors connecting via Internet of Things, and sharing data, consolidating data, and our smart machines and devices using that data to make, in many cases, autonomous decisions in real time. That requires fundamentally different networks, fundamentally different technology platforms. This joint lab has the potential to play a leading role in this country in that regard, interacting and also collaborating with industry and other world-leading institutions that are focusing on this domain. I'm particularly pleased that these two teams and this facility, this lab, also is built on a strong nexus between education, research, and engagement with industry. And that strong nexus that allows that kind of triple helix to be happening, across that domain is where I would say a particular strength lays for this team and for the lab going forward, because concurrently with developing new technology and new solutions for industry, we all very much focused also on developing the new workforce for the industry of the future, far more technologically advanced, far more digitally advanced than what was the case in the past. I see this lab creating new technology platforms and skill platforms that will be a basis for future development and growth of our industry and our economy, because the new generation wireless networks are really the fundamental platform and enabler for most of the things we aim to achieve in a hyper-connected world, in a hyper-connected industry ecosystem and societal ecosystem. I wish all of our colleagues and research leader teams all the best, in this endeavor, that can count on full support from RMIT University and in particular the STEM College. And I look forward to many events like this where we'll be launching together important outcomes, presenting important outcomes with our industry partners, and meeting with you again, Mark, and other dear colleagues at Melbourne as we celebrate those milestones. And I'd like to hand over to Chris Menzies to continue with the launch. Thank you very much again for your invitation.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, both Alex and Mark. I'd now like to introduce the Dean of the Melbourne Faculty of Engineering and IT, Professor Mark Cassidy.
Thanks, Chris, and thank you all for joining today. But I also add that the WILAB and the Melbourne University campus is situated on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Look, thank you, Chris, for the introduction, and congratulations to all involved on this really new and exciting initiative. The Faculty of Engineering and Information Technology, we partner collaboratively with industry leaders to develop solutions to shared challenges and to make an impact. I mean, exactly what this lab is all about. Our partnerships range from complex multi-partner research collaborations to individual student projects, internships with industry. And we now have over 500 companies, NGOs, government offices where our students are embedded, working and learning each year. We're really excited by our new purpose-built innovation precinct. I like to be able to say, look over my shoulder in Melbourne Connect, because this will bring together the digital expertise of leading industry and University of Melbourne researchers, redefining how we can all work together. We're very excited about some of the opportunities and partnerships this is bringing already, for instance, with Telstra. And I can't wait, as Mark said, in the coming weeks, so we're going to open Melbourne Connect, and we're also going to start using the Telstra Creator Space, where our students will be able to design, build, break, design, break again. You get the point, enriching their learnings with a hands-on experience. The Wireless Innovation Lab will leverage both this precinct and Melbourne Connect and these partnerships to build innovation platforms focusing on the rapid explosion of wireless networks and their capabilities. And Alex, I mean, really just explained that perfectly. And as a mere civil engineer, I'd hate to sort of attempt to do that better than that. But I think we all know, I'm preaching to the converted here, the true impact and disruption that wireless technology is going to have in all the fields which are outlined in this innovation lab. I'm really looking forward to hearing more about that tonight. On behalf of the faculty, can I just congratulate the WILAB team led by Tas Nirmal Afas from the University of Melbourne and Kandapan Sitham Paranathan from the RMIT University. Congratulations on this, and also to the whole leadership team involved in Chris Menzies, Jamie Evans, Len Shaka, David Heath and Jerry Rowe. Now, if I pass on to Tas and Kandapan, who is going to take you through the WILAB in more details. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark, and thanks, Kandiben, for joining to present the focus of the Wireless Innovation Lab. Wireless communications has been shaping our daily lives in a profound way, but with the COVID-19, this has been further accelerated. Substantial shift in the usage of pattern arising from remote work, online education, communications, social networks, entertainment, you can name it, but it has been shifting substantially the use pattern of communication pattern to wireless networks. With the increased focus on the society's transition to touchless society, wireless technologies are assisting to reshape the way we live and the way we work. And many in the industry have commented on this. We anticipate this becoming a persistent trend over the next few decades. That is a major reason for us to choosing wireless innovation as a major focus for our activity. We witnessed already the arrival of 5G, Wi-Fi 6 and other technologies. They have been fueling the growth of the increasing deployment of Internet of Things around our built, mobile and natural environments. With capabilities in wireless charging and a renewed interest in space technologies, wireless is again gaining momentum. But these new technologies bring unprecedented capabilities. They offer bandwidth capability exceeding multiple gigabits per second. They can support closed loop interactions, as Alex pointed out, over the network with reduced latency. These wireless networks have been designed with specific features in mind. Technology options actually offer these, a variety of technologies listed here, offer range of reach opportunities so that we can flexibly configure solutions, multiple technologies to meet the application targets. They are designed with an increased capacity, energy efficiency, flexibility to integrate multiple services, a resilience against dynamic changes in the wireless networking operation, security, and scalability to be able to deploy this wireless connectivity to a very large number of devices and connections. These technologies offer further promise to achieve even greater capabilities as we roll out our roadmaps over the next few decades. Wireless is no longer just about connectivity option. When combined with amazing changes that is happening in adjacent technologies, they combine with those technologies, we see an opportunity to create new possibilities. Edge computing allows the computing power to be dispersed throughout the network, even towards the edge of the network, close to the users. That changes the dimensions of future mobile platforms and devices that connect to the network. The artificial intelligence and ever-evolving rapid array of sensors with amazing capabilities allow us to think of this networked connected world in a completely different lens. And these provides us the ability to achieve closed loop control and automation over a geographically dispersed network. And emerging human-machine interfaces provides us new ways of interacting with that connected world. Moreover, being able to integrate all of these different technologies into one platform and being able to optimize these different technologies in a way to realize efficient service deliveries over this network. And what it means is we are really about entering a period of enormous opportunities and a continuous upgrade of wireless capabilities over the next few decades. Wireless technology adoptions and integration is going to be increasingly important to every sector that we can imagine, every organizations we have, and to every one of us, in fact. These trends highlighted by focusing on a wireless innovation in the broadest sense. That means not just connectivity, but incorporating all these adjacent technologies really can be used as a platform to accelerate the innovation, shorten the timelines to get innovative solutions, ideas, products, processes, and services to these sectors which really require significant efficiency gains. And therefore, we focus on the wireless innovation lab trying to link the key stakeholders in the innovation ecosystem. Industry, with its business insights, the opportunities and the market connections and innovative ideas, are keen to collaborate with other innovation stakeholders, and I believe that collaboration is a necessity in this connected world. Universities have leading academics who had a long time invested energy in the associated technologies over the past decade, have significant know-how and transferable skills to transfer to industry. More importantly, universities is where we're cultivating the next generation of bright students and professionals, and they are quite keen to develop the innovation mindset and skills needed into translate these ideas into solutions. As a comprehensive universities, both university partnering universities have really a very deep interdisciplinary and disciplinary knowledge domains that can be put to really solve these issues. Again, both universities have committed, and as we heard from leaders, they are committed to really embracing a culture of collaboration, and this is going to be another vehicle for that. And recently, governments has also been given a mandate to really accelerate the jobs and economic growth, and they're trying to see the benefit of technology adoption in certain priority sectors, and they're also keen to have industry connected to the innovation sector. And WILAB's Innovation Lab can really take these capabilities and interests and try to bring together teams so that we can accelerate innovation in this domain. Let me pass it on to Kandiben, who will actually outline the key focal areas of WILAB's Innovation Lab.
Thank you, Das. Thank you for outlining the motivation behind creating the WILAB. Actually, as Alex and Mark outlined, how important it is to have such a research excellence in this country. I will now outline the key focus of WILAB and how WILAB fits in between the university sector and the industry sector in particular. Now, the primary focus of WILAB is to actually develop innovative solutions using wireless communications through partnerships with the industry and end users of the respective application and business domains. Now, in order to provide innovative solutions to the chosen domains, excuse me, WILAB will establish and further strengthen sovereign research capabilities. Now, as part of creating sovereign research capabilities in the field, WILAB will focus on training and upskilling design engineers and researchers with an innovative mindset so that they'll end up taking the innovative mindset to the industry. And furthermore, create graduate engineers, be ready to practice and adopt the innovative solutions in the field once they start their career. So sorry, thank you. Can you switch on to the next slide, please? Thank you. So in this slide, the approach to having a successful and an outcome-focused working model is shown. Now, as you can see, initially the opportunities from the industry partner and the end users are identified, which are then mapped and matched to harness the skills and research know-how from the lead academics and researchers to address the specific technical challenges associated with the opportunities and problems. The leads would then configure a team of research scholars, designers, engineers, computer scientists, along with student interns to deliver the outcomes outlined in the focus. Now, this approach will by default incorporate an interdisciplinary collaborative work as well. So you can see that how closely knitted the structure is within this WILAB center. Thank you. Now, as I mentioned, the WILAB is actually positioned nicely between the universities and the industry in particular. So if you look at the diagram, you can see what we call as a technology development timeline, all the way starting from the discovery of the technology, basic research, applied research, all the way to the manufacturing and production and the end usage. Now, on the left side of the timeline, the discovery is pretty much a global thing. Technology discovered anywhere in the world, for example, US or Europe or Australia, can be exported and transported to the rest of the world. However, if we were to apply that discovered research or technology to the specific field or application area, we need to be much more focused. So we need to take a focused approach to apply the research, the fundamental research, and so on. And that's where WILAB really stands out in this particular case, because we have sovereign capabilities, and identifying the unique challenges to Australia and the opportunities associated with that is very key here. And that's why we will be engaging very closely with the end users, the industry, large companies and SMEs, startups, etc., to identify those opportunities to connect the gap, so-called, between the university research, fundamental research, I would say, and the industry in this particular field. And that's what we call as the innovation valley in this, as you can see here. Thank you, Das. In this slide, we have described the research structure of WILAB. We have three core research areas identified as three pillars here: cognitive wireless communications, high frequency systems and antenna technologies, secure and resilient wireless networking. Now, the research that's being identified under each of these pillars are not necessarily confined to itself, actually. So we made sure that any research related to wireless networks and communications can be captured under these three broad range or scope of topics. On the other hand, we have two horizontal platforms to support the research outcomes: the cognitive computing, data analytics, and artificial intelligence, supported by machine learning techniques. And it is important to recognize that data analytics and artificial intelligence would allow us to automate solutions and learn to adapt to the environment as needed, and so on. And the second horizontal platform is the development of test beds, technology demonstrators, and forming lighthouse projects that would enable us to showcase the proof of concept. Thank you very much, Das. So WILAB is committed to developing lighthouse projects in the key sectors as identified here. Such lighthouse projects will be supporting commercial use cases of wireless technologies in priority sectors such as defense, manufacturing, transport, mining, and agriculture. Such lighthouse projects will also be showcasing the values of wireless technologies to support business plans. Furthermore, the lighthouse projects will create exemplars for others to follow and build a multi-stakeholder ecosystem to overcome potential barriers to adapting and the innovative solutions from the wireless technologies. Thank you very much, Das.
Thank you, Kandiben. So as Kandiben outlined, we've been really focusing on how best we can drive innovation the approach and the focus that we have chosen is reflective of our past few years of working with a number of industry partners. And the methodology of accelerating is really worked on based on the things that we have seen that works within our system, and we have actually improved on based on things that didn't work. And we actually, we seek to really partner with industry, so we invite anybody who has kind of interest in joining with us in this journey. But in particular, we've looking at the ways of engaging with industry. We have factored the different size and the nature and the interest of industry organizations. From here, you can see our engagement models are customizable depending on the innovation challenge they deal with and the internal innovation capacity of our partners. And on the left-hand side, we can put together cross-disciplinary teams, students with an oversight of academic leadership and business leadership from our partners to be able to, in a very short period of time, to give a shape and form to an idea that's already been considered. On the right-hand side, we can tackle some really fundamental long-term challenges in partnership with the industry. We can leverage public competitive grants and to really jointly solve that research challenge in partnership with the industry and research scholars within the university and the business and academic leadership of the lab. So within that, we have a range of other activities depending on the focus and the challenge. It can be an innovation accelerator, about 6 to 12 months, or it can be challenge projects, 1 to 2 years, or lighthouse projects I can't even talk about in details. It is really about an exemplar type of projects which seeks to demonstrate an effective business case for a particular adoption in a particular sector. And through that, we're trying to create awareness and the benefit of that adoption widely known to a broader sector. So again, I just wanted to emphasize that our engagement models can be customized depending on the problem that we're dealing with and the partners' capacity to and their internal innovation resources they have in order to jointly take it forward. We have an immediate opportunity to really fast track and scale up this Wireless Innovation Lab. Both partner universities do have large cohort of academic leaders who are working in related areas. So they will bring an in-kind commitment in terms of their intellectual energy and the research facilities that we already have. And we are seeking an industry partners to contribute a funding of up to 5 million cash over the next 2 years. And we already have a number of partners who are already working with us or started working with us in this regard. And we are seeking, on the back of this commitment from university and industry, we seeking to leverage a Victorian government injection of 10 million under the Victorian Higher Education Sector Investment Fund. What this will do is next 2 years will rapidly scale the innovation capacity of the Wireless Innovation Lab locally and identify a range of strategic partners with immediate innovation project opportunities. That will set us in a very good position to plan for an enduring Wireless Innovation Lab for future operations. We anticipate that we would be able to leverage other schemes as we go forward to develop a sustainable operation of the Wireless Innovation Lab beyond this 2-year activation period. So Wireless Innovation Lab really focuses on producing a talent pipeline from our research scholars as well as other graduate students coming from the universities, enabled with the innovation mindset and a capacity to contribute to industry directly. And we will be working with our partners so that we will demonstrate the power of innovation, innovative partnerships. And our focus is really about demonstrating the adoption of technology and what the benefit to the economy and social fabric of Australia. But we also hoping that we will be able to introduce micro certificates for professionals who are already working in industry to upskill in pertinent certain emerging areas as part of this initiative. And we believe the Wireless Innovation Lab will become a culture change organization in relation to the way we work with the industry and university together. There's also another opportunity for industry, though I think most of industry would be aware, the Australian government's investing funds to under the scheme called Australian 5G Innovation Initiative. It has to be led by industry to demonstrate use cases and the benefits of adoption of 5G based solutions. Wireless Innovation Lab is quite keen to partner with industry in their bids under the scheme. Importantly, in our conversations with our interdisciplinary colleagues at both universities, they have a range of exciting use cases they would like to be demonstrated in partnership with the industry. So again, if there is an industry partner keen to demonstrate specific technologies, we would be happy to partner with that. But this scheme is really for industry to lead and demonstrate. So we can provide a partnership and assistance in that mode, but it has to be led by industry. I guess as a way of summarizing our aspirations, as you can see, we are setting ourselves an ambitious goals. We want to become a premier wireless technology innovation center, focusing on the wireless technologies that will shape our lives in the future. But in particular, focusing on Australia's uniqueness with respect to its landscape, needs and opportunities. And definitely it will be a commitment to co-create with the industry partner. Not only that, our commitment is really collaborative endeavors that are shaped by the needs of the industry and society. With this, I would like to now thank you for joining us in this launch of the new initiative. And we've been really excited by the comments and encouragements from a number of you who are leaders in the industry with whom we've consulted over the last year. And now we have given the form and shape to the initiative that we've been talking about it. But you can reach us via my email address here or via the website. And you can also use a QR code that will take straight to our website. We have a really interesting and exciting opportunity to partner with many of you. So please reach us. And again, thank you for joining us in this important occasion.
Thanks, Thas and Candypan. If I could just reflect on a few of the points, I think that the various people made, so from Alex and the Marks, I think the last 12 months have really demonstrated the importance for the country around wireless innovation. And therefore it's imperative that we're developing world-leading sovereign capability, but also, just as importantly, a critical mass of people that can contribute to that agenda. We're not going to do it as universities, and we're not going to do it as industry alone. Collaboration is key. It's got to be universities collaborating with industry and collaborating with government for the benefit of society. I think there's no better place than the city of Melbourne for this to happen. We have a great nexus of industry, academia, and government support. So I'd like to leave you with that, but thank everyone for attending. We look forward to engaging with you all in the next steps of what I think is a really exciting journey. So thanks everyone.
Thank you.